Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zach, and today we are going to be looking at Ecomi VeVe growth, because we did say that we were going to be looking through the podcast that Reese Skellen, lead corporate, I think, communications on VeVe, was saying. He was on a podcast, essentially. He went over a lot of different things, and we're going to be going over little bits for each video. Having said that, we're going to start off with the Ecomi price being 0.003532 with a low of 0.00334 and a high of 0.004001 over the past 24 hours. Obviously, we're down a little bit. It is what it is. It's normal. It is what it is, like I say. That said, VeVe, as per usual, is keeping us in the loop every single day. And one thing that they posted recently, they've been posting all this sort of artwork and stuff, which is awesome. Of course, this is so beautiful. Having said that, we have got this tweet right here. Our team is growing, joining the leading mobile-first NFT platform with over 250,000 users and over 400,000 digital collectibles minted, hiring a back-end engineer and site reliability engineer. Now, if we have a look at what this looks like, so I've looked at it, I've gone over to the link, and we see here that we have a senior back-end engineer and senior site reliability engineer. Now, if we click on these, honestly, personally, not someone who understands anything to do with any of this. That said, let's have a quick read to see roughly what is going to be doing. Ecomi is a technology company based in Singapore and is leading the way in the emerging digital collectible space. Ecomi offers a one-stop shop for digital collectibles. We already know all of this stuff. Since launch of December 2020, the platform has grown to over 200,000 users and continues to grow rapidly, which is crazy. We are fully remote. Where did automated come from? Engineering teams spread across this time zone. Our team culture strongly emphasizes supporting each other towards continually improving the UX. We love code, reviews, automation, and sharing best practices. The position will report to the CTO and will play a key role in scaling out technology across our user base. We believe in using the right tool for the job and enjoy working with AWS, which I'm assuming is Amazon Web Services, Pulumi, TypeScript, Nest.js, GraphQL, Solidity, etc. If this sounds like a great environment for you, drop a rocket into your intro note. Awesome stuff. So they're going to be working on maintainable backend features, performance optimized DB queries. I don't know what any of this really means. Fixed priority bugs to support mobile and web clients. That's actually something that I can understand. Design and implement various service architecture suited for audience across regions. That's good. Write automated tests for automated code. Collaborate with the product team and other engineers to scope out new features. That's really cool. Review PRs from other engineers. I don't know what a PR is apart from public relations. Other development work as needed. And then these are the requirements, which I'm not going to read out because I just don't know much. Strong concern for both security and performance. So that's good. Having said that, it's really good to see that we're seeing the sort of stuff. And obviously this isn't the only one. So that was a senior backend engineer, and then we have senior site reliability engineer, and of course they are paying somewhat well for this, 6 figures roughly. And again, we have the same, it looks like, description here, but this one obviously is different. Reviewing existing architecture to identify and prioritize risks, identify areas which can be cost optimized, all the business stuff that needs to be done. Now, all of this stuff is looking very good. Now, I think the reason why they are doing this is simply because VeVe is growing, and this actually, I need to use a graph for this, to be honest with you, right? So VeVe is obviously growing. We have over 250,000 users. Reese has actually said, Reese being the corporate communications guy, he has said that they are expecting at least 1 million users on the app. Now, we will be going over that. You'll actually be able to hear him say that very soon in the podcast. But if we have a look at this, right, now we know how many IPs are coming. We've spoken about DC, Marvel, Disney, all these different things. Of course, Disney itself owns so many properties. It's literally the biggest brands out there in the entire world. And we're seeing them essentially licensed with VeVe, which is huge. It's one of the biggest reasons why VeVe is dominating in the NFT marketplace. Now, why is it then that why we have all these big IPs, and this is something that people have genuinely been asking me, why is it that we have all these big IPs and yet the price is still going down? And I know I've answered this already on this channel, but people come in, new people come in on the channel, I should say, and therefore they don't necessarily hear all my talks prior to the first video they watch from me, I guess. So essentially, VeVe needs to actually be sustainable as a business, as a platform. Yes, it's amazing to have tier 1 IPs, but if you don't have the platform or business to support it, how is it going to evolve? And of course, that is why we haven't seen much marketing. We haven't seen all the stuff that essentially builds a business. And that's what we're going to go over right now, as to why isn't VeVe marketing their business? We already have seen all these huge NFTs already. We already have some of the biggest NFTs in the world. We have the Batman, we have Ghostbusters, we have Harley Quinn. We literally already have tier 1 IPs. That said, let's take a look at what Reese had to say when he was asked about marketing and when is it going to ramp up.
Is there is there any predictions for when the marketing campaign does kind of step up a notch as to how many users you are expecting to come into the app?
Yeah, I think we're targeting, at least 1 million by the end of the year.
So judging by the fact that you thought there'd be 5,000 at the start of April, we'll go with that. That will be about 25 million. Okay, by the end of the year. That's cool. Thanks
possibly,
for that.
Possibly. Depends which brands we roll out between now and then, I guess. We get the marketing question.
For reference, these are numbers that come off the top of my head. Fortnite has 250 million registered users. I don't know what the monthly active is at the space, but I know that they are still doing incredibly well. I also know that Disney Plus, I believe, has around 90 million subscribers. No point in going on the top of my head when I can just look it up on Google. So of Q1 19, Twitter had 330 million monthly active users. My guess is that this absolutely skyrocketed through 2020 as obviously the pandemic went through and of course the US election. Twitter went wild over that. That's just to keep in mind that the minimum is what we're expecting of 1 million by the end of the year. And again, people are expecting this to just jump up as if the price is just going to magically go up like that. No, this is a long hold. Realistically, let's say that we can see 10 million people on VeVe by the end of the year, because realistically anything can happen. It could be less than 1 million, but I think it could honestly be 1 to 10 million depending on what they do, of course. That's not me saying it's going to be 10 million, to be very clear. But what happens in 2022, 23, 24, 25, and eventually when we have lenses, essentially, which is I think what Reese really is looking forward to, is actually being able to augment our reality with the lenses, see VeVe through the lens, etc. Again, that is not going to happen anytime soon. So of course, on a daily basis, the Ecomi coin is just going to go up and down depending on small shifts here and there. That said,
a lot, and as you said a moment ago, we're very blessed to have a community of 250,000 people or more that are all really enjoying the experience and enjoying the app and sharing it with friends and family. So, we've seen that rapid adoption just come from the community side. When it comes to spending marketing dollars, obviously we've run a few ads and put a few test pieces out and things like that. But until we can get some consistent content in the store, or at least that's the goal, so that, a new user comes in and can actually purchase something or interact with the app, we've really held off on spending too much. Now we're about to kick things off in the next couple of months. You would have seen the partnership with Rand and Cohen, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So those guys are, I think in 2018 they were ranked the 5th most powerful PR firm in the world or something like that. And more recently on the Forbes, top list of PR firms in the US.
So let's be very clear about who these people are. We have R&C PM Key. We are a creative marketing and communications agency. We connect our clients to consumers, through the Valorant. It's because I don't know where Valorant came from, apart from the fact that I run a channel called Valorant Hub. That being said, through the world of entertainment, lifestyle, sports, influence, and popular culture. So they represent all of these people to start with. Let's have a look. So obviously, you're probably going to recognize quite a few of these people. We have Bruce Willis, we have Chris Pratt, we have Chloe Kim, we have Jamie Foxx, we have Ansel Elgort, Denzel Washington, David Beckham, DJ Khaled, Gabriel Iglesias, Haley Steinfeld, Elton John. Like, the list goes on and 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 on, etc. Not only do they represent these people, they've also worked on these brand strategies as well. We have McDonald's, we have Hasbro, we have YouTube Originals, we have Activision Call of Duty, we have McDonald's again. Looking at content marketing, we have Heineken, we have MasterCard, we have Novartis, we have Cisco, we have Warner Media, TNT, TBS. They have done so many different things with, quite simply, tier 1 organizations in their own respective entertainment IPs.
All of those kind of things. Now they're helping with one side, right? They'll help with the actual press releases, media, getting our faces in our company into the mainstream, because that's really the next push that comes from this. I think we've kind of capitalized, although unintentionally, on the crypto market and on people who understand that early opportunity. But now it's time to really go target the fans of these brands. And as that production engine continues. Now we've got Trevor on board, so he has, hundreds of assets on the go. I think we've got 3 AAA studios that we use to create these assets as well. So we can really start to line up our market.
So for those of you who aren't aware as well, AAA studios are essentially studios who, okay, so they're very common with me, but I wouldn't even know how to define it personally. In the video game industry, AAA is an informal classification used to categorize games produced and distributed by a mid-sized or major publisher, which typically have higher development and marketing budgets than other tiers of games. So essentially, I suppose in comparison, or the different one would be indie games, right? Or indie developers, where you have a small team of, say, I don't even know how many, but AAA. Essentially, AAA is like Call of Duty's Activision. You have Overwatch and Blizzard. You have World of Warcraft and Blizzard, League of Legends and Riot Games, Valorant and Riot Games. Those are the AAA studios, and they have 3 working with them right now to create NFT content.
With releases and targeting those fan bases as well. So yeah, everything's it kind of feels like we're just winding the spring again, to be honest. We got through the launch and
sorry, you did some YouTube advertising for Cryptkins? That's a new thing? We saw someone post that.
Yeah, so we have another video agency on board, some friends of ours that help us produce content like that. So there's been a few little promo videos that have gone out. There was one for the DeLorean Time Machine. We did one for Murmur Corners, just showcasing what the collectibles look like ahead of time.
The video for Cryptkins was awesome. It was more around the actual YouTube advertising. That was the first time I'd seen anything like that.
And that makes sense, right? So what they're saying there is that was YouTube advertising. Now, if we go back to this tweet that we've spoken about, I don't know, a few times on this channel at this point, we have Christian Stringer right here at VeVe Collectible on the ESPN site. You absolutely love to see it. And of course, right here, we have what seems to be a VeVe ad, on ESPN. Now, this itself, if we have a look really closely, we will see that this, of course, you can't see that because of the way my face cam is. Oh, that's super annoying, but if we do that, I guess, there we go. Right here, you can see what it says a Google ad, essentially. This is Google Ads. Now, the fact is, of course, YouTube owned by Google. So essentially, Google Ads, the different ad formats are different. So a YouTube ad is different to a web ad, I suppose. But the whole point is essentially they're putting money into Google Ads, which is Google AdWords, essentially. And of course, AdWords on YouTube.
I don't think I'd seen it. I don't. Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it was just someone I think shared it on Twitter, and it was an actual ad that came up. He had it on. He had YouTube on his big, massive TV in his lounge, and he was like, "Oh my god, VeVe just came on the TV."
Because it says skip ad in the bottom right hand corner of that video, doesn't it? So it must be.
It must be a thing, yeah. Oh, maybe it's maybe they're starting to test some of that content as well. Because up until now, those videos are incredible, but they end up being ready sort of a day or two before the drop. So we haven't really been able to leverage that attention.
That's what one of our users responded to. He was like, why the hell are they advertising it when it was sold out in 10 minutes?
Well, and that's I mean, it's a great problem to have, but that's the problem we face at the moment. We create these promos and these assets and things to start bringing more eyeballs in, and then it's over in a minute, and it's kind of wasted.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
They actually got to be careful about that because there's marketing budget going into that. But I mean, anyway, it's awareness.
I think that's going to sort of lead into Claire's other question. She wasn't planned to have 2 questions, but I'm going to let her have it. Was about because I think what people listening here probably, with the diehards and everything, is with a million users, and if there's only 7,000, commons or something.
Okay, so that leads to the next question, which we'll probably look at some point later. But I want to go over marketing, and I want to go over why essentially it seems like Ecomi essentially isn't really having a great week right now, or whatever it might be. Essentially, we've been at 0.003 for like a week now, maybe. And of course, before I came into the mix as far as making videos about it, we were seeing 0.007. Now, if I came onto Ecomi, or sorry, if I went onto CoinMarketCap and I saw that Ecomi had a 0.007 price, I would be over the moon at this point, just because at this point I'm kind of used to seeing 0.003. That being said, would I be over the moon? Not necessarily, because realistically, it's got to be organic. Like, of course, a lot of what we've seen here is through a lot of mainstream, or not a lot of, but a couple of mainstream shout-outs. Logan Paul, for example. Essentially, we're going through a correction right now. Essentially, VeVe just isn't ready yet to be on a high price for Omi. But that's kind of what this is for, is so that essentially they can build the company. This is what we were speaking about with the is Ecomi a scam or whatever. The company needs to actually build so that Omi can build as well. So let me know what your thoughts are on that, of course, in the comments below. I really appreciate everyone's support recently. It really does mean a lot. Did, of course, reach 1,000 subscribers recently. I actually tweeted as well very recently about the fact that thanks to @FrogRobbie, they sent over a number of screenshots showing off some Batman NFT stuff, but also looking at some other DC licensed NFTs and potentially a Final Fantasy NFT, which of course is a AAA game as well. Of course, I've already posted about this on YouTube. The video is already up, so if you want to check it out, you can check it out on this channel. But with that being said, if this video was interesting or helpful to you in any way, shape, or form, a like is always very much appreciated. If you would like to be kept something happening in this every single day, multiple times a day, this is my channel and I cover everything going on. So if you want to be everything happening, hit that subscribe button, keep notifications on. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you in the next video.